So, hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the another lecture on a Python interview preparation course. Myself Vamsi. In this tutorial, again we are continuing where we have stopped in yesterday's class. Okay, so I will give a quick recap of what we have seen till now. Okay, means in yesterday's class, and I will tell you what we are going to do in this particular lecture. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed about input types. Okay, and typecasting and operators. So in total we have seven types of operators. Okay, and we have seen arithmetic operators, assignment operators, relational operators, and logical operators, and we haven't seen bitwise operators. Okay, we have to see what is bitwise operators in this lecture. And we talked about membership operators and identity operators. Okay, so and in today's session we will be starting with this bitwise operator. Okay, then we are continuing with output format types. Okay, output formats means we know that how to print output in our Python. So we do that by using print, but by using this print, okay, we can do in different types. Okay, so I will discuss that, and then we'll start before starting flow controls, we have another important topic called command line arguments. Okay, command line arguments. And then if time permits us, then we will start flow control statements. So flow control statements are nothing but conditional statements. Okay, and break, continue, pass, and then iterative statements. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started with bitwise operators first. Okay, bitwise operator. So the name itself tells us bits. It means that we are going to perform some operations on bits. So we know what is bits. Okay, a bit represents usually either 0 or 1. Okay, so whatever the value we give in decimal format, okay, or in the format of integer, so our system will convert that into the binary representation, so which is only understandable by the machine. So let's say, for example, if I have given my data as 10, so the equivalent binary representation of 10 is 1010. Okay, so this is how we represent a 10 in the form of a binary representation. So if you don't know what is binary representation, please let me know. So I will discuss further about this, but like how to write this, how to convert our decimal representation into binary representation. Okay, so yeah, I'm assuming all CSE or non-CSE guys as well know this thing. Okay, that's why I'm not discussing that. If you don't know, let me know in the chat window. I will discuss that as well. And so we are performing. So all these bitwise operators, whatever we have in Python or in other programming languages, so they will perform operations on this kind of data. Okay, so that is what we do with bitwise operators in an higher level. And let's go and see what are all the types we have. Okay, so first thing, and, next or, next not, or complement. Okay, and then XOR. So this is AND, this is OR. Don't mix these things with a logical and a logical OR and logical NOT. So they are different and these are different. Okay, and this is a NOT or a complement, and this is XOR, and this is and we do have two other operators called a left shift and right shift. This is right shift, this is a left shift. So basically these bitwise operators are very important if you are planning to study a DSA further after completion of this, after learning Python or any other languages. Okay, so you will face a lot of interview questions if you are aiming for product based companies. Okay, they were not that much hard, but the special thing about these bitwise operators are you can complete that task in a constant time, so yeah, there is a concept, if you don't know, there is a concept called time complexities. Okay, time complexities and a space complexity. So I will tell you in an high level context what these actually are. So basically we write some algo or we write some piece of code, and we need to tell that, okay, how can we tell that whatever the piece of code which we have written will take this amount of time. Okay, let's say I wanted to like, let's say, okay, I will tell you in some high level context. Let's say in your classroom there are 40 students, 40 students 40 students, and I ask you to, okay, go to the each one of them, okay, go to the each one of them and grab their details. Okay, so now tell me how many people you wanted to interact with. So I have told you, go to each one, okay, each one of your classmates and grab their details. Okay, now how much time do you require here? Like, let's say for each student you will be taking 1 second. Okay, for 40 student it will be 40 seconds. 40 students, it would be 40 seconds. Now if suppose if there were n students, if suppose there were n students, now tell me how much time it would take. Can I say it is n seconds? It is n seconds. So to complete that task, you are requiring n seconds. Okay, it means n might be the number of students which you are in your class. Okay, so coming to the space complexity, so this is time complexity, the amount of time required to execute our program or algorithm. Okay, and the space complexity means the amount of memory you will be required to complete your execution. Okay, now let's say for the same example, and I told you so you have to maintain an book, okay, where you will be writing each one of the student details in one page. Okay, then obviously how many pages it is going to consume? It is 40 pages, 40 pages, 40 pages. Then it means that you required an n. So if I have represented this same, it means that you will be requiring n pages notebook. So this is here, n pages are space and n seconds are time. Okay, so yeah, this is what time and space complexity means. Okay, yeah, we will do a separate session on how to compute this time and space complexities for in different kind of algorithms, okay, in future. But as of now, keep that things in mind. So this is the specialty of this bitwise operator. So basically, okay, all these bitwise operators consume only constant amount of time. So when I say constant amount, it is 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Done. So that is the major thing about these bitwise operators. Now we'll see each one of them. Okay, so yeah, these are very very important, so please make sure you are noting down somewhere. Okay, now let's say and so the so how this particular and is going to do now. So let's say if you have, okay, let me take one example and then we'll see. So at 10 and 20, so let's write the binary representation of this at 10 and 20 first. So how we are going to represent our 10? So it is 10 and 10. Okay, how we are going to represent our 20? It's first 16, then 1 4, then all zeros. So here you will put 0, and then here now if you have two ones, if you are performing and between 1 and 1, you are going to get 1. Okay, otherwise you are going to get 0. So it is similar to what we have seen for logical operations. So here you remember, right? So whenever you see a true and true, then only you will be getting true. Okay, if you have even one, at least one false in your statement, then that entire statement is going to be false. Okay, so here true means 1, false means 0. Okay, now go here. So 0 and 0, it is going to be 0. 1 and 0, yes, again 0. 0 and 1, 0. 1 and 1, it's 1 and 0, 0. 0 and 1, 0. So the and of 10 and 20 is equal to 0. Okay, if I perform OR operation on this same, so this is and what about OR? So if I perform OR between these two numbers, then it is going to be 0. So if what is the definition of OR? So if any of the statement is true, then whole entire statement is going to be true. Okay, so here we have seen 1. Okay, then it is 1 1 1 1. So 16 plus 8, it's a 24. 24 plus 4, it's a 28. 28 plus 2 is a 30. Done. So this is what and or. So let's simply go and write code for that thing. Let's say I have a equal to 10, b equal to 20, and if I print a and b, then so we have seen, right, it's at 0. And if I replace symbol or, then it is going to be 20, yeah, 30, yeah, yes, 30 is done. So we are done with and we are done with r, and let's go and check out for this guy called a complement. So what is this complement means? So basically bitwise complement operator um, will make, okay, will make ones into zeros, zeros into ones. That's it. Okay, so let's say if you are giving a value of 10, okay, if you make this as a complement of a, if you make this complement of a, then it's going to be minus 11. Yeah, minus 11. So how it got minus 11? So basically if you are using 32-bit computer, or it is depend upon your computers. Okay, if you are using 32-bit, then you will be taking 0 0 0 at the end. We will be representing the things 1 0 1 0. Okay, and if you are using 64-bit operating systems, then again output is not going to change. Yeah, you will be representing whole things, right? So that's how it depends. Yeah, it's nothing but 2's complement of a 10. Okay, so you know what is 2's complement, right? So 1's complement means first you will make all the things opposite, then you will add 1 to it. Okay, that's it. And then the next one would be XOR. Okay, XOR of 5 and 10. So the definition of exhaust is that if your inputs are like if your inputs means both statements are different, then you will get a true. Okay, if both the statements are same, then you will be getting false. Okay, so it means that let's say your inputs are 1 and 0, then you will be getting means 1 bit and 0 bit, then it will be like 1. Okay, and if you are giving 1 and 1, then you will be getting a 0, means even if you given 0 and 0, you will be getting the same 0. Okay, so here let's say A XOR B. uh, let's say we got 15. Okay, let's go. Okay, let me write the things here itself. Okay, so for 5, okay, for 5, how you gonna write binary representation? It is 1 0 1 1 0 1. So for 10, let's make it, yeah, 0 1 0, and for 10 you will be making as a 1 0 and again 1 then 0. Okay, so here now output is, now the output, so you will be having all different things. Okay, so 1 1 1 and 1, that's it. So if you come, the value of this thing would be 15. Okay, this is how you will be getting XOR operator. Done. Now the second the last two was bitwise and sorry left shift and right shift. Okay, so how you are going to perform left shift and right shift? So let's first talk about a left shift. Okay, so let's say you have a n is equal to 10. Okay, you have n is equal to 10. So how you are going to represent this n? So let's assume you have an 8-bit processor. Okay, you have a 8-bit processor, means you have to represent the things in 8-bit. Okay, so how you are going to make this a 10? So let's say you will be representing 1010. Since you have to make it 8-bit, then you will append all zeros. Yeah, so this is how 8-bit represents of a 10. Now I wanted to shift 2 bits to the left, means n this. So I wrote this statement. So what does this statement means? So shift these 2 bits. Okay, shift these 2 bits to the front, so here let's say first I will shift this bit to the here, so then I will shift this bit to here. Done. Okay, now tell me what is the value of this. So it is going to be here a 1 2 4 8 16 32. So 32 plus 8, it's a 40. So if I shift the same 3 bits, then what will be my output? So I will be making it as a 0, like I will be moving this 0 to here. So I will eliminate it here and I will add it here. Now tell me what is the value of this. Now this is going to be 16 and this is going to be 64. So it's an 80. Right. So if you observe the things, you will be seeing a pattern here. Okay, if you generalize all these things, the formula for a left shift will be, okay, let's assume this as a n and this as a k. Okay, so it is going to be n into 2 power k. Okay, here in this here, so n is 10 and 2 power, what is a k here? K is 2. So yeah, so 10 into 4 is equal to 40. So here it is 10 into 2 power 3, so 80. This is how the generalized form of left shift works. Okay, now after seeing this, you might predict what is right shift means. Right shift works, how right shift works. Okay, so it's simply opposite. So if you're performing addition here, sorry, multiplication here, in right shift you are going to perform division. That's it. So means n by 2 power k. Okay, so if my n is equal to 100 and k equal to 2, okay, I wanted to perform 2 bits to the right, then my answer is going to be 100 by 2 power 2. So 2 power 2 is a 4. So if I do the same, I will get 25. So usually, so whenever you are doing a right shift, your value of n is going to be decreasing. Okay, whenever you are doing left shift, your n value is going to be increasing order. Okay, so you have to remember these both terms. Okay, so please make sure that you are not confusing yourself. So let's quickly go and check out these values, correctness of these values. So let's say I have given n equal to 100 and k equal to 2. Now let's perform n right shift k, n right shift k. I got 25. Okay, so if I do this same to the left shift, then I am going to get 100 into 2 power 2. So 2 power 2 is 4 and 100 into 4 is a 400. Yeah, I got 4. Okay, this is how left shift and right shift works. So on this note, I can say that we are done with bitwise operators as well. Yeah, so it seems a little mathematics oriented, but it is not. Yeah, personally bitwise operators are one of my favorite operators, and I love working on these bitwise operator problems in the essay as well. So yeah, please make sure that you solve enough problems before attending your product based interviews. But if you are attending a service based companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro kind of companies, you don't need to solve problems on this operator, but yeah, have some good knowledge on these operators. That's it. Okay. Yeah, so now let's move on to the next segment, output statement. Output statement. So generally it's very simple. Okay, so we all know that printf is used to print output in our terminals. Okay, so printf, say hello world, hello world, and yeah, if I execute this, I will be getting hello world. Now let's make this a little bit complex. Okay, so let's say I have a string, I have a name, I have my age as 22, and I have my CGPA, let's say CGPA as a 2 point, sorry, it's 8.5, let's assume that. And now I wanted to print all of them. So name, and I need to print my name here. Then age, then my CGPA, done. So if I execute this, we'll get a name, CGPA, and yeah, name, age, and CGPA. So yeah, what is the problem here? Okay, so let's make it so we have 3 lines of code, right? So we are printing all the details in 3 lines. Now let's make it these 3 lines into the single line. Okay, So first I want I want the statement like name, then okay, name I will print name, then age, and then I will make it as a age, and I will have a CGPA. Yeah, it's a CGPA. This. So this is one kind of thing that you can do, okay, but it is not recommendable because it is not in format. You are doing different kind of statements, like one is name, like a name here is a string, age here is integer, CGPA here is floating type. Okay, it's not an good type of thing that you can do. So in in professional manner, so let's say in organization, so they always prefer a formatted thing. So how this going to work, let's say you will be having a name, okay, then you will put brace here, then age, then you will put a brace here, then CGPA, you will put a brace here. Now you are going to write it as a formatted, and you are going to give all your inputs here. So in first brace you are going to give one like whatever you wanted to append over there, then a second, then say CGPA. So now let me comment this out. So again there is a problem with this formatted here as well. Okay, what if I will change it to the CGPA and I will change it to the age. Okay, so if I do the, so here the statement is wrong. So see, name Vamsi, age 8.5, CGPA 22. It's wrong, right? Like, so it's okay. So if you are doing it in very slow manner, you won't face any like problems. But when you are typing this code in a hurry, okay, then there will be high chances of making errors like me. So it's not an error, but you have misplaced the content. Okay, so now for that what I can do, so let's say let's assume this as a one kind of list. Okay, this has this formatted as one kind of list, and we will be having index in here. Okay, we will be having indexing here. So if we have indexing, so then a name is going to be in 0th indexing, CGPA is going to be 1th index, and age is going to be in 2nd index. So let's go. So here I want name. So what is the index of name? It's a 0. And here I want index of age. So age index is 2. And here 1. Now let's print this out. Now I got name Vamsi, age 22, CGPA 8.5. Good. Good. So this is one kind of stuff. Okay, and even you can do the better. So still you can do the better. So yeah, let me do that in, let me copy this, now I will make this name equal to name, CGPA equal to CGPA, age equal to age. Okay, now here you are pretty much sure that you want name, here you want age, and here you want a CGPA. Yes, now let's execute this. Now again you got the things in right. So this is another way that you can print, like format your output. Mm, yeah, so yeah, this is second type. Okay, so this is first, and this is a second, and like second means using format, and still you can make it better and a simpler. So this piece of code is a little lengthy. So what if I have which contains two or three lines of statement? Then you are not going to append like first your output, then formatted kind of stuff. It's going to be little lengthy. So what you can do now? So you can say, okay, which stands for format itself. Okay, which stands for format. Then our name. Here you are going to put name. Then age. Going to write age. Sorry. Then CGPA. Let me comment this out. This, yeah, again we got the things in correct. So this is throw method. Okay, so you might feel that this is not so important, but it's very important. Okay, so if you are writing a machine coding rounds, uh, so if they ask you to print output, okay, so in that case you are going to fail if you don't know these formatted things. So like your traditional method will always not going to help. Okay, sometimes. So this is the very correct manner, and by writing like this you can assume, like you can assure that yes, I'm correct, I'm writing, I am dealing in a correct manner. Okay, so yep, that's good. Now let's go and see command line outputs. Sorry, command line arguments. So what does this command line arguments means? So basically, command line arguments. What is this command line arguments? So if you are not using IDEs like a PyCharm or VS Code, so traditionally how you are going to execute your Python files, it's very simple. You will write your code in Notepad. Okay, Notepad. Then you will go to a terminal, and you will redirect to your destination folder where you have stored your Python file with the .py extension. Okay, then you will type a Python on your program name .py. Okay, so this is how you are going to execute your Python files by using terminals. So uh, in sometimes, okay, in sometimes your program accepts. Okay, so let's say if you are executing your a program like this demo dot py, and your program expects you to give inputs during your command line arguments only, like this is while typing this particular command only. Then how you are going to write? So 1 2 3 4 5. So basically these are your inputs which are going to store in a list manner. Okay, so yeah, here one thing special about this is it will include this demo.py as your command line argument also. Yeah, that's why we eliminate, let's assume all these things were stored in a list. Okay, then the index of this demo.py is going to be 0, then it's 1 2 3 4. Okay, so generally your command line arguments index will starts from 1 actual. Okay, so this is about it. Okay, so to support this command line arguments, we will be having one library, okay, called assist. We can call this a module. Basically it's a module, and then you will be in this particular module we will be having function called argv, means arguments. So this particular thing is going to help us in accepting the command line arguments in our Python code. Okay, so let's go. Let's say I have we need to import that sys module. Okay, so from sys import argv. Okay, from sys import argv, and let's print argv. That's it. Okay, so now we need to pass our command line arguments from the terminal, then we can see the output in terminal. So let's see. So let me open my terminal. Okay, let me open my terminal here. Now I have my terminal and I have stored all my programs in this program file, sorry, folder. Then I will be writing the code in this demo.py program, okay, file. So how can I execute? So Python, then a demo. So you don't need to even type the whole uh, file name. You can just so you can just type de and you can click on that tab, then it will show if it will compute it will complete the whole file name in an automatically. Then so you are done with this particular file. Now you need to pass your command lines here by giving space. So let's say I will pass a 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, sorry if you are not able to see. So that is the colors by default. Okay, so if I click enter now, what I got this output. So I got this output saying that as we discussed, so our very first element is going to be our file name, followed by whatever the elements which we have given. Okay, so that is what we have seen here. So this is what a command line argument means. Done. Now let's go and check out the next. So for our next topic, I will be starting with flow control statements. What does this a flow control statement means? So in flow controls, we will be having a different kind of things. Okay, like conditional statements, transfer statements, and iterative statements. So conditional statements are, okay, let me put all of those things in my pen. Yeah. So a flow control statements. So under this we will be having three types. So first one is conditional statements. Next transfer control statements. Next iterative statements. Yes. Now I am not giving like formal definitions of all these kind of these things, because yeah, in an interview the interviewer is not interested in accepting or listening textbook kind of definitions. Okay, so it's totally depends upon you. If you understood the concept pretty much well, then it will be good if you could able to explain it in an your own terminology, because everyone studies from the same article or like, so let's take, so in my college everyone used to study from GeeksforGeeks articles only. So just imagine, let's say we are attending 100 people attending a campus drive. Okay, so if interviewer asks this what define this control a conditional statement, 100 people, so what you can expect, you can expect the same definition from 100 people. Now interviewer will easily catch up, says that yeah, I am tired of hearing that particular statement, so can you explain that in a better manner. Okay, so it means that they are expecting something different. Okay, so they don't want everyone knows the definitions, they want the real life scenarios where you will be using that particular concept. Okay, so it will be good if you understood the topic and you can create your own examples. That is what an interviewer looks for in a candidate. Okay, so conditional statements are three. First one is if, then if else, then if else. So what is if? So if means let me complete this particular picture, then we'll get back to the other things. Okay, so transfer statements are break, control, pass. So if you have other programming like prior programming experience, you might know this break and control, but you must be wondering what is pass. So pass is something which is introduced in Python only. Yeah, it's just an dummy thing. It won't it won't harm anything to our computer. Okay, like our program execution. Yeah. Now iterative statements are for. So yeah, iterative statements are means a loops. So for run, while we don't have do while in Python. Okay, and either so in conditional statements as well we don't have switch. Okay, so we can achieve that a switch thing by using this if as well. So yeah, now first we'll discuss about this conditional, then we'll discuss about iterative, then we'll discuss about transfer. Okay, now let's start with this if. So what does this if means? So in general, where do we use if? I can say, so let's say I have this data equal to uh, let me take better example. Let's say age. Okay, so let's assume we are making an voting machine like voting eligible mission. Okay, voting eligible mission. What does that mission do now? um, so you will give your age as your input, and it will tell you whether you are eligible to cast your vote or not. Okay, so voting mission, like vote eligible mission, that's it. So your input is age. I'm taking it from the user, and then after checking after taking accepting this age, what you need to do? So you need to check one condition. What is the condition for eligibility of a casting vote? So please let me know in the chat. Okay, so can I say if anyone is greater than or equal to 18, they can cast their vote? Yes, that is what the condition here is. And I will check if age greater than or equal to 18, what they can do, they can cast their vote, okay, without any problem. So I will say print cast your vote. That's it. That's it. So now tell me if this is if this is not the true. Okay, here condition is false. Okay, here condition is false. If this condition is false, what do we need to do? We need to tell them you are not eligible. Okay, we need to tell them you are not eligible. So how can I tell that? Okay, so if it is true, it is going to execute this particular block, and if it is false, we will be having one else block. Okay, we will be having else block where we will be handling our false statements. Okay, not eligible to cast vote. Done. So if your given condition is true, then you are going to execute the if block, and if your condition is false, then you are going to execute your else block. So understood? Now let's quickly go and code this up. Okay, let's say I will be taking age from user, so and I will check if age greater than or equal to 18. So here I wanted to talk about one important accept in Python, that is called indentation. What is indentation? So basically, uh, if you have coded in C, C++, Java, you might be using these like curly braces, but we don't have that kind of concept here. Okay, so let what does this curly statement means? So basically it is going to tell us this is one particular block which is assigned for this kind of work. Yes. Now here, since we don't have this concept in Python, we use this colon. Okay, we use this colon, and whenever we are done, we will click enter, right? So after pressing enter, if you can see, you will be having a space, some space here, means it is leaving some space, then it is starting somewhere. So here how much space we are going to not considering here, so it's 4 spaces. Okay, so means equally to one tab. Okay, 4 spaces equal to the one tab, and after that you are going to write your statements. Let's say you're eligible to cast out, and done. So this is what an a block, if block wants. Now after that I am done and I want else block. So again you have to come back, and then you have to you need to come back to the straight. Okay, so to the end, and then you have to enter your piece of code again in else block. So not eligible to cast your vote. So this is what how it looks like, and let's execute this code. So here if you execute this, we are not saying anything, but it is still waiting for our input. Okay, so let's say I have given 12 as my input, and what I got not eligible to cast your vote. So here like it seems weird. So if someone is new to programming, then he doesn't know why it is not giving output. So let's make some statement here. Let's say enter your age. Okay, now it makes sense. Let's execute this, and it is asking for enter your age. Then I will enter my age as 22, and I will click on enter. Then after that I will be seeing my output eligible to cast vote. Yes, so this is how a conditional statement works. Okay, if and if else. Now what if, okay, what if let's say let's change our input sorry stay problem that we are going to solve. Okay, so that we can use that if elif cases. So there is a famous problem, okay, called a Fizzbuzz. Okay, Fizzbuzz. So you might be wondering what is a Fizzbuzz. It's one of the famous interview problem. So I have asked this problem in couple of interviews, in product based interviews as well, like where they are going to make chill, like so to make interview environment a little free, comfortable kind of a thing. So in the very first, so they are going to ask some silly questions. So they will start with these kind of questions. If companies like if your interviewer is a too much friendly and cool guy. Okay, and I have asked this question in a product based question interview only. So let's say Fizzbuzz. Let's see what does this Fizzbuzz stands for. So let's say here fizz means if number is like if n here is input number, n is divider of 5. Okay, so if n is divisible by 5, then it is going to be fizz. If n is divisible by 3, then it is going to be buzz. Okay, so if n is divisible by both n and 5, like 3 and 5, then it is going to be Fizzbuzz. Okay, and if our n is not falling in either of the things, then you are going to print not a Fizzbuzz, not a Fizzbuzz. Okay, so yeah, I will give you some examples, then we'll try to figure out answers for that. Let's say I have given n is equal to 15. Now tell me what is your answer. So your answer should be Fizzbuzz. Now I have given n is equal to 6. Now tell me what is your answer. So your answer should be buzz. Now I have given input as 11. Then your answer should be not a Fizzbuzz. So this is what a Fizzbuzz problem states. Okay. Now let's go and try to code this. I will simply change this age to n. Okay, I will enter the enter number. Okay, I will ask enter number, and first thing, so first what will be our very first condition. So our very first condition should be uh, like, let's say, before if I given like, so if I have written statements like this, first I have checked with a divisible of 5. Then if I give input as 15, then I am going to say this is true, and I will print a fizz. I will come back to my, that's it, my program will come out of the execution. So then I am going to get fizz, but this is not true. What I got, what I need to get, so I need to get this Fizzbuzz. So our very first statement should be given for higher priority numbers, where we will be having maximum chances. So our very first condition should be if n mod 5 and n mod 3 double equal to 0. If let me put brace things here. Then if both of my statements is true, if both of my statements are true, then I am going to print is now else, so if I put else, so if this is not true, then my else block will get executed. But here I wanted to check with other conditions as well. Okay, other conditions as well. So in that case, so when do I need to check other conditions? That's my question. When do I need to check with other conditions? So if this particular statement is false, then only I need to go to next statements, right? So let's say if then I will check with mod 3. If it is mod 3, then I will say a buzz. And if is a mod 5 equal to 0, then I will say, so if, tell me, if our n is not falling in either of the conditions, then what we need to do? We need to say not a Fizzbuzz, right? So else okay, that's it. So let's go and give some input in, then we will see. So it's asking for a number. Let's say I have given 18, then my output should be buzz. Then got buzz. So you might be wondering how this control is going to be. So for that, let's try to debug this code. So you might be wondering, what is this debugging? So yeah, debugging is one of the most required skill for a developer. So yeah, if you are a fresher and you don't know what is debugging, but after getting into some good company, irrespective of whether it's service based or product based, you have to learn debugging. That's one of the foremost thing that you are going to do after joining in a company. So why do we do debugging? So basically, let's say before you join the company, there were plenty of software engineers have written mm, some piece of code. Let's say they have written 10,000 lines. Okay, 10,000 lines, and they ask you. So you are working in an one web-based project, means web development project, and you need to debug one small footer. Okay, small footer. So you know footer, right? So footer means at the you will be having the bottom of the website. So yeah, I can tell you some examples, like so where you can see copyrights, right? Copyrights. So you wanted to change a piece of code over there, so you don't know, you have to search it manually. You have to search it manually for that footer. Now how can you find that, like without doing much effort? So what you can do now, so you can put some debugging points. Okay, so let's say you can put some debugging points at in some lines where you will be having 10,000 now. Let's put some debugging points at 1,000 each. Okay, then go run your code in a debugging mode. Okay, then go to your web page, then try to click. Okay, then try to click on that footer. So whenever you click on that footer, you will be redirected to the place where that particular line is being executed in the below 10,000 lines. Okay, so that's how you can easily make your work a little bit easier, and that's one of the thing so a fresher must have to do. Okay, so because one has to learn. Okay, so nobody joining as a fresher and seeing that much of huge code, it's really a nightmare. Okay, so if you have to understood what is happening over there, then you have to flow through the code over there. Okay, so that is the one thing that everyone has to do. So I will tell you how to do debugging. So first of all, you need to put some debugging points. Okay, I will put some debugging points here, then here, then here, then here. Okay, so now have means debugging points, and few people call this breakpoints as well. Okay, now let's try to execute this code in debugging mode. So how to run this in debugging mode? So here you can see that right after clicking a run, you will be seeing demo button. So click on that demo. So first it is asking for enter a number. So let's say I will enter a number as 11. Okay, I have entered a number as 11. So wait, so you can see here all the variables as well. So your n is containing 11 here. So first line of statement it is executing is this particular line. So your current pointer is here, right? Now so it is checking with this condition. So if you click on continue, it is not entering into this print statement. Did you observe that? Why so? Because your if condition is false, that's why it is not entering into this particular printf statement. So it directly jumped to the another condition. Now let's execute that again. So again it is not entering into this print buzz. So now let's execute this again. So we got into this particular statement, and our debugging is done, and we are able to see our code output. So yeah, you can see only sorry, did I messed up? Console, sorry. Yeah, console. So you have entered now. So it's a not a Fizzbuzz. You have seen this output, right? Yeah, this is how you can debug. This is how you can learn coding as well. So after entering into a company, it's not like you know everything about that piece of code that is already existing. So you have to learn from the others code. That is one of the best thing you have to do after entering into a company. So yeah, that's how it works, IT industries. Okay. Done. So we are good with this particular Fizzbuzz, and we are done with conditional statements as well. And our time is up as well. So let's continue. Okay, where we have stopped. Okay, in tomorrow's class. Okay, so tomorrow we will be completing loops and transfer statements. So please make sure that you will attend that session as well. So until then, bye bye.